The tree does not speak in words. The river offers no lecture. And the mountain publishes no philosophy. And yet, for thousands of years, human beings have gone to them seeking wisdom. Why? Because there is a language deeper than words. There was a time when imagination was not dismissed as fantasy or wishful thinking. It was understood as a doorway, a bridge between worlds. The poet, the mystic, the artist, and the shaman knew that imagination was not merely something we possessed, it was something we entered. Today, many of us live within what might be called the prison of logic. Its walls are built from certainty, measurement, and proof. Logic is a magnificent servant, but a poor master. It can tell us how things work, yet often struggles to tell us what they mean. It can map the terrain, but it cannot reveal the mystery of the journey. The tragedy is not that we have become logical, it is that we have forgotten how to imagine. Perhaps imagination is not merely the opposite of reality. Perhaps it is one of the ways reality reveals its deeper face. The poet and artist William Blake wrote, "What is now proved was once only imagined." Blake understood that imagination is not an escape from life, but a deeper participation in it. Through imagination, the invisible becomes visible. Symbols emerge, metaphors speak, the soul finds a language. The psychologist Carl Jung recognised this when he developed the practice of active imagination. Rather than dissecting images from a distance, Jung entered into relationship with them. He discovered that the psyche is not a machine to be analysed, but a living landscape, populated by figures, stories and archetypes carrying wisdom beyond the reach of the rational mind. To imagine is to enter into relationship. It is to sit beneath an ancient tree and wonder what it might teach about endurance. It is to walk beside a river and sense something about surrender and flow. It is to look at a mountain and recognise your own longing to rise. Nature ceases to be scenery and becomes conversation. The shamanic traditions of many cultures have long understood this. The shaman journeys not by escaping reality, but by entering more deeply into its symbolic dimensions. Through image, vision, story and ritual, they cross the threshold between worlds and return bearing insight for the community. The outer landscape becomes a mirror of the inner one. Contemporary shamanic teacher Sandra Ingerman reminds us that imagination is often the very doorway through which guidance arrives. What first appears to be just imagination can become a profound encounter with wisdom, intuition, and the deeper currents of life. Likewise, pioneer in mind-body healing, Jeanne Achterberg demonstrated the transformative power of imagery. She understood that images affect not only the mind, but the body and spirit as well. An image can heal, strengthen, and awaken possibilities hidden beneath ordinary awareness. Imagination also invites us into a radical revisioning of our struggles. What if the enemy was not merely an obstacle, but a teacher? What if disappointment is an initiation? What if grief is a river carrying us towards a deeper love? What if rage is not simply a force to suppress, but a threshold asking to be crossed? In a culture, our culture, that often fears strong emotion, Imagination allows us to approach these experiences symbolically rather than literally. Rage may become a dragon guarding a treasure. Fear may become a trembling guide leading us towards courage. Shame may appear as an exile longing to return home. The imaginal world does not erase suffering. No. It transforms our relationship to it. Without imagination, life becomes flat and literal. We reduce ourselves to problems to be solved. We interpret every challenge as a malfunction. Yet the soul rarely speaks in diagnosis, spreadsheets, or bullet points. It speaks through image, dream, metaphor, music, movement, and symbol. The soul speaks the language of imagination. To cultivate imagination is not to abandon reason. It is to loosen the bars of the prison and step into a larger landscape. Logic helps us to navigate the world. Imagination helps us inhabit it. Logic provides structure. Imagination provides meaning. Together, they create wisdom. Maybe imagination is indeed a forgotten organ of the soul, one that has grown dormant through neglect, but never, ever disappeared. Like a neglected garden, it waits patiently for our return. And when we return, we may discover that the trees have been speaking all along. The rivers have been teaching. The mountains have been calling. Even our wounds and darker emotions have been inviting us across thresholds we were afraid to cross. For imagination is not merely a faculty of the mind. It is the soul's way of remembering that the world is alive, that meaning surrounds us, and that beneath the surface of ordinary life waits a deeper conversation, one that has been speaking our name since the beginning.